Former President Trump arriving at a scheduled deposition, this in New York City yesterday, invoking his Fifth Amendment rights in a probe concerning Trump Organization business practices. Meanwhile, new details emerging on that raid at Mar-a-Lago and what might have set that whole thing in motion. We'll take you to national correspondent Mike Carter joining us live, Midtown Manhattan outside of Trump Tower. He has the latest. Mike.
Hey, Sean, good morning. Well, Donald Trump spent most of the morning and early afternoon on Wednesday down in Lower Manhattan at State Attorney General Letitia James's office. Donald Trump being deposed by James's lawyers as part of a civil fraud probe into the business dealings of the Trump Organization. Well, Donald Trump said he wasn't going to answer any questions from the AG's office on Wednesday, and he did just that, invoking his Fifth Amendment right and explaining his doing so in a statement on Wednesday, which read, "Under the advice of my counsel and for all of the above reasons, I decline to answer the questions under the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen under the United States Constitution." Well, Donald Trump is no fan of New York AG Letitia James, who's been trying to prosecute him for several years now. Regarding James and the FBI raid this week, Trump saying, quote, "My great company and myself are being attacked from all sides." The Trump camp releasing a video on Wednesday to show why.
Rats, like New York's radical Attorney General Letitia James, campaigned on suing President Trump.
Bring him down! His days are numbered! Defeating Donald Trump. Nothing else matters.
What is fueling my soul right now is Trump.
You definitely assume we're going to be a real pain in the ass.
Illegitimate, witch hunts, lies. Democrats do not have solutions. It's time to save America.
And switching now to the FBI raid at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, investigators with the FBI and DOJ met with attorneys for former President Trump back in June. And during that meeting, investigators were seeking more information about those classified documents and presidential records that had been taken to Florida after Trump departed the White House. Investigators were allegedly allowed to see where at least some of those materials were being stored, but following that meeting, the Wall Street Journal is now reporting that, quote, "Someone familiar with the stored papers told investigators there may still be more classified documents at the private club and beyond what Trump turned over to the National Archives earlier this year." Well, still, if there is a leaker inside Mar-a-Lago, as the Journal is alluding to, that still would not explain why Monday's raid happened in the way it did without Trump's attorneys being given any prior notice. Because in June, lawyers for the former president say they received a letter from investigators asking them to preserve the remaining documents in Trump's possession, quote, until further notice. So, is there any good news to report on behalf of the former president this week? Seems to be all bad news. Well, actually, there is. According to his son, Eric, fundraising is up big time this week. According to Eric Trump, in the days following the FBI raid, DonaldJTrump.com has been shattering fundraising records, receiving more money than at any time in recent history. This as Republicans and many Trump supporters are hoping number 45 announces that he'll be running for president yet again sooner rather than later.
J.P. Morgan's CEO is warning that an economic hurricane is coming. Are you preparing? If you don't do anything, your 401k could be a 201k, and that is not good. So call our trusted friends at Lear Capital. For 25 years, Lear has helped investors own gold to protect against market chaos. It's a good thing. They can help you too. Get your information and up to $15,000 in bonus IRA gold. Just call this number, 800-880-4300. That's 800-880-4300.